Okay, how are we doing out there? First things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. I'm the creator of Supreme Ambient Light Rejection Screen Paint using ambient light rejection technology gain. I've been getting quite a few emails from people asking me, what can you paint? If I paint it on this surface, will this surface be better than that surface? How would this surface react if I paint it this way or that way? Now I'm going to be doing a projection screen that is half of it's going to be painted with a paint sprayer. The other half is going to be rolled on. So we can pretty much have some people asking about using paint sprayers and rollers and stuff like that. Rollers is pretty easy. A basic nap roller is all you need. Do not use foam rollers. I explained that before. Foam rollers, you're rolling the screen back and forth. If you pause in the middle of that roll and you press down, you're gonna leave an imprint in the middle of your screen. Padding the bar. You want to pad the bar anytime you do a custom wooden frame or you got an aluminum frame that you may buy, like I have here and here. You want to pad the back of the bar because if you press down on that bar, what's going to happen is going to leave an imprint in the middle of your screen. A fabric surface. See the back of my fabric surface on my 150-inch screen? If you notice, it's gray. And the reason why it's gray is because you have to basically coat the surface with 2 applications of any kind of paint. Doesn't make a difference. It can be blue, green, red, orange, purple. Doesn't make a difference. You just have to basically add 2 applications to it. And the reason why is because you need the screen to absorb in as much paint as possible. By doing this, this allows the screen to be able to take in as much paint as it can, and this will give you an even surface when you do so. And like I said, I've done these demonstrations with fabric screens. I've painted a few fabric screens, and these are the fabric screens that we actually give links to on where to get them on Amazon because it's actually a really good outdoor screen. I'm going to change over into a paint shirt real quick because I'm doing a paint on demonstration, doing the same thing for Facebook after I'm done with this. And I have to get me a serger too. I need a serger to run this real quick. Serger. So I'm going to paint some weird stuff to show you how easy it is to paint over anything. Let me get serger for here. Let me see. I think I have a piece of it. One of these drawers. We'll figure it out. I think they're upstairs. You might be upstairs. I was cutting the lights for the gear room upstairs. Track those down. All right. Getting some stuff together for coating the sheet of plexiglass, which we're going to do. This is what we're going to paint. A sheet of plexiglass. This is already coated with invisible technology. That's why it's that black look to it. But we're going to do the plexiglass, this crappy surface, and the top of that table right there. Just to show how easy it is, because Like I said, I get people asking me tons of questions, asking me what can we paint it on. And then we're going to coat that plexiglass with some of this right here and some tape, which I'm going to advise you doing this. This is just to give you an idea exactly what you can paint it on. So let me grab a few things that I should have down here because I never, like I said, these demonstrations I do are never, what do you call it, pre-set up. I just do it as I go. Let's get a sheet of cardboard. Get a sheet of cardboard. What we got in there? Oh, we're using this for something. All right, sheet of cardboard. Going to take a sheet of cardboard, put everything out there put out right. All right, I'll bring you over here with me. We're going to take ourselves a sheet of cardboard. And I think next, I've done motorized projection screens before. I had people ask me about manual projection screens. It's the same scenario, but I'll go buy myself a manual screen and paint it. Same thing, you know. I think all this is coming from the old traditional screen paints back in the day. If you ever painted a goose screen has certain requirements on what you could paint that screen paint on. Couldn't go out, you couldn't do cardboard, you couldn't do this, you couldn't do that. You had to paint it on the wall, and the walls had to be perfectly flat in order to paint a goose screen. So I think some people are still going by that old tradition of having to have a perfect sanded down surface. Now, on the website, there is a description telling you what you can paint it on and what you can't. We strongly advise you do not paint this on stucco, because I've done stucco screens before. It looks good, but you still got them rigid edges, which may not show up when it comes to color, or may come up to contrast level, but when it comes to white levels, you will see it. So there's my foundation there. And let's grab some linoleum. But anytime you do fabric, and I'm going to do a fabric projection screen again, I'm going to do another 120 inch. 120 inch screen. And anytime you do a fabric screen, it's not because you're priming it, it's because you want the screen to absorb as much as the paint as possible, so it doesn't really make a difference. What tell people, don't spend a lot of money for primer. Just buy everyday paint. Buy some Behr 1050. All you want to do is just basically just go over the surface with the Behr 1050. That's it. And just absorb the paint. That's all you want to do. You just want to have the screen absorb. So we're just going to do half this. We're not doing anything special here. We're just making some crazy surfaces. That's all we're doing. Crazy surfaces. All we're doing. Looking crazy surfaces, nothing special. Just to give you an idea. And one guy went to go into whole detail questions. I'm like, look, man, it's not that hard. Stuff is very easy to use. You just pick a surface and you paint. That's the whole purpose of the whole idea of being able to think outside the box. Now, I made a screen using a surface like this, linoleum. All this is basically the top paper that you find. You line your shelves with, that's all it is. And if you want to do a nice screen, the reason why I put this over top cardboard, because if you wet the cardboard is going to become buckle, it's going to wrinkle, and it's going to warp, all right? I suggest 2-plying it if you want. You can 2-ply the cardboard, which I did in the kitchen. All you do is just take your frog tape and you make your border. That's it. It's not going to be perfect. I'm just showing you this easy way to do it. Just making your border. That's all you're doing. Any area you don't want to paint, that's the area covered. And keep in mind, they make contact paper in all different forms of colors. They make it in all different forms of shapes and designs and prints. So you think outside the box. All you're doing is just taping over the borders. You just don't want it to show. I don't want the granite top to show up. That's it. Now I've seen that cardboard they use. This is around like this thick. They use it for basically building furniture with. This stuff is pretty sturdy. You put 2 of those together, that's virtually impossible to snap in half. That's a nice lightweight screen that you can hang up on your wall using freaking not frog tape. You can use I wouldn't use it because it probably rip the paint off your wall, but what's that stuff called? Gorilla tape. This is all this is. Or you can basically put the same contact paper over a piece of plexiglass, cover a piece of plexiglass with it, make yourself a nice border, which I should do over there too on top of that plexiglass. I think I'm going to do that on top of that plexiglass. As a matter of fact, you know what? So that plexiglass has that nice, smooth kind of look to it. That would be hot for a screen. Now, how you could do that is you paint the opposite side of the screen with everyday black paint. That's what you do. And then what you do is on the other side, because you want it to have that kind of black, metallic kind of look to a border to it, we're going to make a border out of that. Hold on for a minute. Let me grab, should I use a thick frog tape for this or a thin frog tape for this? I'm thinking about it. I think I'm going to use the thick. I want the border to stand out. Frog tape is your best friend. Is your best friend. We're just going to This is also pretty cool. I've done this with a projection screen. I don't know if you guys can even see me doing this. Honestly, to tell you the truth, hold on. I don't think you can see me doing this. Let me see where I'm standing at. No, you really can't see that. Hold on for a minute, bring it down a little bit. All right. There you go. Now you can see. So we're just going to tape the borders. I had a screen that was completely using invisible black technology, and I kept the corners clear, so you can see right through them. These are cool tricks. That's why I'm gonna do a channel. I'm gonna do another channel that'll show you how to build some pretty cool screens, man. Some screens that will stand out. Since the technology is black, you don't need a border. You can pretty much design the border at anything you want. So say I can take this piece of plexiglass, I can paint the back of it yellow, right? So if I paint it yellow, since it's being clear, anything that's yellow is going to transfer through the other side of the screen, which making the whole screen look like it's completely yellow when it's not. It's only yellow on the back side. So all I do is take my frog tape and just go around the corners of it, paint the inside of it with the black technology, and now I got a yellow border around my screen. However way you want to design it. Grab think I'm going to design me a channel showing interesting ways on how to build projection screens. Because what you got to understand, with this technology, like I said, we make anything that you coat with it becomes the screen. This is going to be interesting. I think this is going to be pretty cool. Yeah, I think this is going to come out real nice. I'm going to do some contact paper projection screens. Make sure I get everything done. Make sure I don't get outside the line and hit anything. I was just going to roll over this, but I'm going to do me a nice little slick border around this right here. Nice little plexiglass kind of border. Oh, this is going to look real nice right now. I wish I had a bigger piece of plexiglass now. I wish I had a bigger piece. I don't have to get me to order me a bigger piece of plexiglass. This will look nice in my office. All right, let me make sure everything's good from there, down there. So we got this right here to paint. We got the top of this table. Yeah, I'm going to paint the top of the table, people. I'll paint the top of the table. Show you all the different surfaces we have here. We're just going to roll right over top of with no problem. Now let me get myself a serger for the Chrissy projector. I'm going to use. I thought about, if they don't have people have to understand, if they don't have a vaccine for this stuff, this COVID, I may be putting some things on hold. And I mean some things on hold is next year we want to, that technology I showed you, I think taking that direct hit from sunlight, that coating we're developing, we want to put that on a motorized projection screen, but there's a lot of work that goes into building a motorized projection screen. A lot of people don't know. If you think, I'm going to tell you something, take the time, those you know already know, look up at what they call a maintenance patent or an engineer patent, basically, where you pretty much, when they build it, they have to strip that thing down and show every single screw, wire, whatever. This is going to take a lot of time, a lot of money for something that, I mean, like I said, I'm going to have factories, to have people in there to mass produce these things. And this may cause some concern. Now, wallpaper technology, on the other hand, a little easier to do because a machine pretty much does most of the work. You just need one person to just go in there and maintenance it, and another person just to go in there and just run it. That's it. That's pretty much basically it. So I think we might start off with wallpaper. Now, we're doing wallpaper. We're going to have 100-inch screen. That's going to be 100-inch, 120, and 150-inch in wallpaper. And I'm thinking about, well, I will be doing a 235.1, because since I did the 235.1 in the theater room, a lot of people have been asking me questions about that screen back there. And yeah, I think we're going to do a 235.1 wallpaper screen. Okay, so let me get this plugged in. We'll get Chrissy fired up and ready to go. Okay. One of the things I love the most, keep in mind, when I do my technology, I have to do countless tests. A lot of people, if you haven't seen the countless tests that I do, there's a lot of tests before we actually give this a label and put it on the website. So a whole lot of stuff this stuff has to go through. But I've had some individuals that basically try to say, hey, look, I can make the same product. They'll do none of the tests that we do whatsoever. That's like somebody saying, hey, look, we can make the same brakes as you get from this for cheaper, but we've done none of the tests. Would you stick that on your car and drive down the street? I don't think you would. All right, so let me get this shifted over. Gotta do the test, people. Gotta do the test. Oh man, I keep forgetting how big this projector. This is out. I get a little bit of everything in this thing. Okay, let me see if I can get down a little bit more. We just need to swipe the screen. That's all we need to do is just swipe the screen a little bit. I'm just adjusting my projector in the back. Let me get my phone too. I can keep this on. Get my phone's juice. Oh, I got juice on the phone. Thank you, Jesus. Usually I never have juice on this phone. Phone burns on me every chance it gets. So let's just put something in. Background, because we have to paint the screen and then we have to throw the screen up against the projected image so you can see the screen reaction. Like I said, this is just to give you an idea. Now the plexiglass screen, that right there, I will be doing another one of those because that is going to look hot with that. The border having that shiny slick to it, it's going to look pretty cool. How did I come up with a what? How did you come up with a power cord? You brought it in use. I have no idea what you're talking about. Power cord. Power cord for projectors are easy. That's not hard to get. You do know that a power cord for a projector takes the same power cord as a PC does, right? You can buy them on eBay for like $2 and $3, maybe $1. They're nothing. They're cheap. The only projectors that take interesting power cords are pretty much portables. They take an interesting power cord, and any of the Casio projectors don't take the same power cords as an everyday projector. They have like a three prong in their power supply. So now that's a different story right there. If you get a Casio projector, you're not going to be able to fit an everyday cord in there. So this is why I need to make the other channel. The other channel clears up a lot of things where it'll show you what projectors, parts, stuff like that. You know, stuff from experience of me buying on eBay. You know, I mean, what to look for, what to so and so forth. This would help out a lot. But power cords are a dime a dozen, man. They're easy to find. Same power cord that you got that goes in the back of your PC or even your Xbox. Your Xbox takes the same power cord as your projector. Same thing. Really nothing different on that. Unless you get something really weird in there, like something that has an interesting cord to it. That's the only way, but most of them take that power cord. Now waiting for this to load up. I'll give you a look at it all. This is why I need to make me another separate channel, because people come on there asking questions about projectors. They come on asking questions about what to paint, this, that, and the other. This will make it a little more easier for you because I have quite a lot of projectors. So let me show you real quick before we set up down there. All these projectors take different outputs. Now look at the right here. This right here is a portable Sony projector. If you look at the front, they take the same power cord as any other projector. But if you look at the Sony projector I have here, which is also a portable, if I can get that one pulled out of there real quick. I think the legs may be down. All right. Legs are down. All right, here we go. You see this one right here? See the power cord on this one? You would think if you bought this one, this would take the same as this power cord. Now, I'll show you. That's the power cord on this Sony projector. So that's a completely different power cord. So the power cord you would need for that one would be this right here. And you can find these anywhere, period. Power cords aren't hard to find. I'll tell you the ones that are really hard to find. If you happen to run across one, here we go. The Casio. Now, Casio power cords are completely different. I don't know if they're all like this, but I do know that the Casios are the only ones who have this strange cord. When I bought one, I was like, what the freak is this? Because it didn't come with the power cord on the back of it. I'll show you what the Casios look like. This is the Casio lamp-free laser and LED hybrid projector. Look at the back of that cord. Huh? All right. Those cords are a little different. This is the power cord on the back of a Casio. You'll have some projectors that'll have an output like this for power supply. These aren't hard to get. I mean, you can find them. They're like $7 to $8. They cost you a lot more than the other ones. But the same power cord right here on the back of your projector. Let me see, all these have the same right here. See right there? Epsons all have the same. They all have the same power cord. All of them have the same power cord. Same power cord that you find on the back of a PC is the same power cord that connects into that. Same thing. Just certain projectors, older ones, you'll run across that'll have those real interesting outputs. And the Casio laser and LED hybrid projectors have those in the back of that weird 3-prong connector. Some of the portable projectors will have that smaller 2-prong connector. So that's pretty much what you'll run across. Just basically, before you buy a projector on eBay, if you're buying one used on eBay, make sure you look at the back of the projector. If you're not seeing, I tell people, look, if you're buying projectors on eBay, you want to make sure there's a lot of pictures to look at. You want to make sure those are the original pictures that you're looking at. Do not want to buy a projector with someone that actually photocopied or took the image from Google Images and put it up on their site, because you don't know what condition the projector may be in. You could get the projector, there could be cracks, blemishes, dents, all kinds of stuff. If the casing is cracked or chipped, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole unless you could repair it, because keep in mind, the casing on a projector is a pretty hard casing. For you to crack one of them means you had to drop that projector pretty hard in order to do so, which means there could be some serious damage inside the projector. Projectors that may have an issue that may be cutting on and cutting off, the person stating that, you might not want to go near that, because that can end up costing you more money. If it's a cheaper model, maybe the parts will be less expensive. If it's a top tier like the Christie's right here, it can end up costing you a lot of money to actually replace it. Like, for instance, like the Christie's I have here, just to change out the filters on these projectors would cost me $100. This projector right here cost me $130. To replace that lamp would cost me $160 to replace the lamp on here. So you have to understand, if you're able to find, like say if you find a really advanced projector, something like a Sony Bravo, a projector that may be going for like 20, 30,000, maybe the person only wants $8,000 for it. Maybe it's because a lamp costs more than what the projector costs. And sometimes you can get a projector and just because the projector is old doesn't mean the parts can be still expensive. Now, like I said, it's like the equivalence of buying a Jaguar. You know, I mean, a friend of mine bought a Jaguar, he got it for $13,000, and then he found out that the part for it still cost the original price. It cost him $400 for them to go in and take apart the car just to get to the brakes. $400. Just the work to go in and take apart the car. That's not including the brakes at all. So like I said, you can buy a high-end projector, but the parts would still cost you an arm and a leg. That's why I tell people, before you buy projectors, check out the lamp. How much is the lamp going to cost you? What's the filter going to cost you? Stuff like that you may have to replace on that projector, because whoever had it, there's some wear and tear on it, and you're going to have to replace that stuff. So that's what you want to make sure. Or how easy you can get your hands on the lamps. You know what I mean? So stuff like that. So, you know, buyer beware. But like I said, when you're looking at projectors and they're just showing pictures, or they're showing one picture, no, you don't want to go near that, because anything can be wrong with it. You don't even know. I like to buy projectors where someone turns it on and I can actually see the display. I can see if there's any discoloration. DLP has sometimes problems with the mirrors and their projectors. These are the older ones. They have something called the, I don't know, it's called like, I don't know if you've seen it before. It's kind of like a star field, all right? That's what it looks like. If you ever had one before, You'll start off with basically turning on the projector, and you'll see one little white dot in the middle of your screen. Then it'll be 3, then 4, then 5, then 6. Then next you come back, there's 20, 30, 40, 100 all over your screen. That's because the mirrors on the DOP are damaged. That's kind of like the transmission blowing out in your car. You just might as well just scrap and just go buy a brand new car, unless you just really love that car. But other than that, yeah. So I've had a couple of those happen to me before. So you just got to be real careful what you're looking at, what you're buying on eBay. Like I said, I've been lucky to find some merchants. I only found 2 merchants that pretty much did me ugly, but the rest of all the projectors I have upstairs are bought from eBay. That's the only one I bought from Amazon, which is the 235.1. So that's it. Just got to know what you're looking for, because like I said, if you're seeing pictures up there, just pictures, and it's not the physical projector itself, there's a good chance that projector may be damaged. Also, too, another thing to look for, sometimes the merchant may know, and sometimes he may not know. It's up to the merchant, okay? Sometimes they may put in false information by saying something's short throw when it actually isn't short throw. So what you want to do is you want to go to a site called projectorcentral.com. You want to copy and paste the projector's model number. Go to the site, put it in the keyword. It'll bring up the projector's real specifications, and it will tell whether that projector is short throw or ultra short throw. It'll say it right there in the description. That's another thing that can save you some money too. Be careful about that too. Smart projectors, you might want to stay away from them. I bought a few of those. Smart projectors do not have override manual controls outside the projector. You have to have the remote control to get access to the projector. That's another thing you want to look for when you're looking at projectors. Check out the top of them, check out the size of them. Is there any kind of manual controls? If you don't have a remote control, can you get access to the menu of that projector? If not, you're screwed, because you're going to need that remote control to get to it. And then again, how hard is it to get your hands on the remote control once you do basically buy the projector? So this is the kind of stuff you got to look for. I'm able to buy. I bought all those projectors from eBay upstairs. All of them are all bought from eBay, except for that's the only one I didn't buy. And all those projectors work perfectly, except for one of them, which is a Chrissy 505. That one didn't work, but I ended up getting another one, and it did work. So that's the kind of stuff you want to make sure you're looking for. That's why when I have customers contact me, they go, "Hey, Ken, I want a projector. I want a good one. I can find you a good projector. No problem at all, because I know exactly where to look." And I've bought from a lot of merchants on there, and I've actually done a lot of unboxings with their projectors on my screen first minute they came in. So I know exactly what to look for when it comes to getting a good projector. The Sony right there, I got that from eBay too. That's Sony short throw, ultra short throw in the room. I got that one over there for $550. That projector was $1,500. And I bought about 6 Chrissies. Bought this one, 1080p Chrissy. I still can't believe I ran across this one. This is a 1080p Chrissy that cost me $230. When they got done, the guy got done completing his inventory on these projectors. They shot right up to $1,000. So that's the whole thing, you know. You just have to make sure you know what you're looking for, because you definitely want to go to Projector Central and put in the model number. Go on YouTube, find out if you want to see how the projector reacts. Somebody's got to have that projector on YouTube. So go on YouTube, see how many people got it. See how it looks. It may be for you, it may not be for you. On top of that, when it comes to the pictures, one of the tricks I noticed that when they take a picture of the back of the projector, like they may not put up there, they may say it's HDMI, and it may not be HDMI. That's why you want to go to Projector Central, because it'll give you a specification on what outputs are on the back of that projector. Some people will say it's HDMI, and it's not. Some people will say it's 1080p, and it's not. So what they'll do is, when they take the camera shot of the projector, they'll take the camera shot like this. So half of this is missing. You can't see if there's an HDMI port in there, can you? There's one in there, but you can't see it. There would be the HDMI port there, which I have the Chromecast plugged in the back of, but they'll take the picture like this. So you really can't see it. When it should be standing upward so you can see the whole back of it, so you can see where it's at. So if you're not really sure, you can go to Projector Central, or what you can do is just basically just do a Google search on that image, and then go over to images and pull up the exact projector and look at the back of it, and you can see whether or not if it's HDMI on the back of it or not. That's all. Little stuff like that. tell you something else really interesting too. Those of you that are using PayPal, you may not want to use a PayPal debit card if you buy something on eBay. I'm going to tell you that right now. Because I have a $560 projector sitting up there on my shelf that will be there for 90 days. I was lucky and blessed enough for the woman who basically was doing this dispute for me, because the person I bought this 505 projector, and the projector came and busted. So I was lucky that they put the money back on my account that allowed me to go buy the other 505. But if you do it through your PayPal debit card, it doesn't go through PayPal at all. So usually when you file a complaint, it won't go through PayPal. It'll go through PayPal's credit bureau, which wherever's logo is on the side of that card, it'll go through them too, which will be Visa or MasterCard. Now with them, their policy is different. And their policy, you would have to wait anywhere from 2 months to 90 days. I'm not joking with you. 2 months to 90 days before they can come up with a decision whether or not if you were at fault or whether they were at fault, which means your money and the merchandise will be in your home. Well, your money will be on hold, but the merchandise, you cannot ship it back until they made their decision. And that means that could sit there for 2 months, 3 months, depending on how long they come to make their decision. Now, that's what happened when I bought the first Chrissy 505. The second one I bought, I paid for it PayPal through PayPal. PayPal to PayPal, if I have a complaint, something comes up, I get 10 to 30 days. Something to know. All right, so let me get started on this because I had much to do today. And this is why I need to start the channel, because I can go This is why I need to start the other channel, because I can go on all day on telling you or showing you how to basically get projectors for pretty much next to nothing. All right, so we got our screen paint. That should be pretty easy to do. Right here. Stir this up some. All right, so what we'll do is I'm gonna grab my roller. People worrying about the perfection of their rollers. This is a roller that I used to paint a gray screen with, and I used some hot water and soap, washed it out in the sink, recycled the roller. This is a recycled roller, was used once to paint a gray screen. So you don't have to have any special rollers. So first thing we're going to do is we're just going to roll over this screen right here. As you can see, I do not advise you painting over a surface like this. It's just to let you know, if I can paint over this, you can paint over whatever you need to paint over. Now, as long as your wall doesn't have cannon holes in the side of it, or craters or anything like that, anything, if you want to sand over it or whatever, it's up to you. As long as you don't have anything in there where if you run your fingers down the side of it, your fingers don't bounce. Your fingers start bouncing, you have too much, too many imperfections in the wall. Than that. Does it make a difference if you go up or down or whatever? So we'll put some here. So we need there. Some right there. Some right here. I'm going to make sure my corners are down. This screen right here, I'm going to have to pump this one like this. On this one. This is real nice. Real nice. Yeah, yeah. Right here, this one. And I'm going to paint my table. Yep, you heard me. Paint my table. All right. That's all we pretty much need for today. I'm just going to take my roller. Up and away in my beautiful. right, so this right here, window. So we'll take that one. Coming over here. Keep in mind, as I said before, projectors are not going to, I'll do that demonstration later on today because people don't understand that without our technology, well, your projector is not going to look that good. And I'll show you that today on a Sony 3600 lumen, Sony 36 FH, what's the projector? Sony FH 36 as a 5200 lumen projector. This right here is my window sill. This is glass that was splattered with white paint. There you go. Look how beautiful that looks. So that was a window, glass window, that was splattered with white cracked paint all over it. That's pretty easy to do. All right, so let's go grab something else to play around with. Let's see. Let's do this screen right here. I'm gonna let this one dry because this is gonna look pretty crazy right there. I can't wait to do that one with that dry. I may put my Casio 235.1 on that one right there. That's gonna look real nice. Let's get you over here. I think I ran out of video, which I don't know how. It's supposed to be we have one long video. Oopsie. My fault. Ugh. My bad. There we go. Hopefully you stay this time. If not, I'm going to get some tape in there. All right. See if it'll stay this time. All right. Great. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I'm going to break my camera. All right, let's get some tape here because right now things are getting a little bit temperamental in here. That's the second time I dropped this phone. Don't want to drop it again and don't want to run the risk of breaking it. So let me see if I can get some tape. I just had tape in my hand a few minutes ago. Just got to tape you guys down. It's one of those days. I call it the Butterfinger days. Butterfinger days. Why that happens. No, I'm not editing that out. I don't edit any of my videos, not even my live videos. I edit nothing out in any of my videos, nothing. What you see is what you get. I don't edit anything out. Some people want to edit out because they want the video perfect. No. It's the whole purpose of me doing live. You're supposed to see stuff like this. If you see me trip over a cable and fall flat on my face, then that's what you're supposed to see. Just like last time I did a demonstration, for some reason I could not get the freaking PS4 to activate on the Chrissy projector upstairs. And it was a bit of a nightmare there, but it did start up. Everything went well, and I'm like, I'm not editing that out. For what? Let's see if we can get something heavy to support this. For some reason in this section, I seem to be having a problem. Just trying to get it to stay put. So let's get some tape. Tape this down. There we go. I figure what the heck is going on with all that. All right, we're good. All right, so we still have this screen to paint here, which should be no problem at all. I'll go over this. Corners. I'll do like spraying plexiglass or rolling plexiglass. It really doesn't make a difference, to tell you the truth. The only time spraying becomes something that may be needed, unless you're doing a large application. If you're doing a large application, I mean, then again, I have rolled a 180-inch screen. I've rolled a 180-inch screen. So I guess if you're doing something like maybe 200, 250, some big outdoor screen, something massive. I can see about doing it on a sprayer. Other than that, I just roll it on and be done with it. And so like, well, I get a smoother surface, but that's what we're going to do. We're going to roll the screen on, spray the screen on, and then you guys can tell me which one's which. Pretty much debunked that theory right there. All right, so let's come over here. That's done. Let's grab our piece of cardboard we have here, which we have here, cardboard, linoleum, all this crap right here. That makeshift monster, whatever that is, right there. Well, I think I had you guys in camera already. Bring it back a little bit. There we go. A little bit more. There we are. Yeah, I really don't have to put too much science into this stuff. It's pretty easy. Look, let's watch this. It's designed to paint on anything. It's not that. I understand people don't want to mess it up because they figure they paid money for it. They want to mess it up, but you can't mess it up. Literally, I'm gonna bring my nephew down here. My nephew, my godson. He's around 8 years old. And we're gonna paint a screen it. I wish I could bring the little one down, but she's about 3. Her with a paintbrush would be dangerous. She might even paint me. But anyway, it's just really easy to do. You know what I mean? Let's do the table. Now we're going to paint the table. I don't know if you can see me from here painting the table. You can see me from here painting the table. All right, let's paint our table. Hold this down a little bit. All right, just paint it over the table. All right, let's get creative here. Let's get creative here. That's let's paint a mannequin's face. Of course, I'm going to need a paintbrush for that one. So let's get a little artsy here. We should do like 1/2 of the face. I think somebody, I'm not gonna paint the whole face. I'm just gonna do half of the face. I'm enlightening galaxies and the stars off the face. There's a fellow who's actually using our technology to do he's using the rear projectile to make his own form of projection art gallery. So you can do more than that. Some people think, oh, it's just for projection screens. No, it's just for projection screens. People use this for the background for stage performance. Because with a projector, you can always change the scenery. You don't have to have the stage crew go in there and change out the props or the sceneries, because you can change out the sceneries because of the projector. You can make it night, you can make it day. You don't have to worry about any of the stage lights reflecting off the screen because it absorbs all the light. Or if you take a projector, gray screen or a white screen, what's going to happen is when that projector hits it, it's going to project all that white light bouncing off the side of the screen every place. Not with black technology, you don't have to worry about that. Now, again, I advise you, just because you see me doing this with a paintbrush, do not paint your screen with a paintbrush. This is just me having some fun with it. All right? Now, this is what I would advise using a paint sprayer with. But it doesn't make a difference. There we go. Designed to paint over anything. I have to sand that up a bit. Get that to show a little better. Or my projector may have to be a little closer. Pick up on that. Let's see what we can do here. Let's go with. Alright, painted the table, everything else we got done. That's all done, that's all good. First we will get a commercial. We always get a commercial. There you go, people. All right, let me disconnect you for a bit from here. We'll take over to Mr. Mannequin. Mr. Mannequin. Pretty cool, huh? Told you, anything you can think of. Ah, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I really do. I really appreciate that. I can't wait till we soon start shipping overseas. So now our orders are going to stack up. When they finally give us the go ahead to start shipping again overseas, and of course shipping will always be free. Always be free. Hopefully one day we'll get that go ahead and we can start shipping overseas again. I like shipping overseas, I do. Anytime I get a package that comes from another country, I'm always curious about exactly what the world is like. And you are from Sweden. Oh man, that's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Let me see a little better. So it just allows you, like I said, we have people that'll come in and they're going to do stage performance. And what they'll do is they'll take a projection screen like this, maybe about 300 inches, and they'll coat this whole entire thing and they'll lay it right against the wall, and then they can change their scenery at will. So you can, your whole scenery comes to life. And this is the table we just painted a few minutes ago. That is the other screen right there. Let me get my fan out here so I can get these to dry. Let me move the face over here. We'll get our face out of the way. There. Get the screen to just a little better here. I had to tighten it up a little bit for the face. And let's grab, let me see. Ooh, bottom of my table is soaked and wet. Hold on. I don't want to get that on my floor. Sorry about that. So there's the table. This is just to show you that in this demonstration that people think that if you paint one surface over another, that you're going to get a difference. Or if you paint it on with 2 applications or 3 applications, you're going to get a better surf, you're going to get a better picture quality. No, the technology is designed that whatever you can possibly think of that you want to paint it on, it's going to all react the same way. So it kind of takes the guesswork on what to paint it on. So there's my table right there. Let me see if I can track down the phone. So we're gonna come over here. We got our table. We're gonna grab that right there. That is the cardboard and vinyl craziness. A minute, I'm so sorry. And all this stuff sitting up here is still soaking wet. So as it starts to dry, it gets brighter. So it's going to get much brighter than this. It's wet right now, so I consider this to be darker on the screen, but it's going to get brighter than this. Let's, I just want to go open up here. So let's grab ourselves a fan. Here, I'll put that. Anything to focus on that? Yeah, that's the second cord going down the square. Oh, wait, we got me cord here. Use this instead. So we'll put that on 2. That way you'll get a chance to see the screen dry right in front of you. And as you can see, the image is overlapping because you can see parts of the fish reflecting in the background and the kitchen. Okay. Now anything that comes with a dark spot on the screen is the paint's still wet. And then you see the white wall's not picking up any contrast at all whatsoever. That's why when the screen shows those dark images, the white wall only shows up bright colors. That's it. So keep in mind, you could do this on motorized projection screens, fixed frame screens. So many fixed frame screens I have on here. All this stuff is coated with this technology That's a silver ticket screen at 100. The 138, 235.1 is silver ticket. That screen right there is an elite screen in there, right there. That's their new edgeless screen. Then I have another 135 outside, and I have 135 upstairs. These are all fixed frame screens. Easy to code. I've done paint on demonstrations of me building the screens and painting the screens. If you don't want to go down that route and buying the screen, then bottom line is you don't have to buy expensive blackout cloth. I use the bed sheet. Matter of fact, the screen that I have in my upstairs, my 79-inch portrait projection screen I use to work is the bed sheet. Bed sheet wrapped over a frame. And a printed one at that. Let me bounce over into the star field again. Hold up a minute. That demonstration was pretty short. Let's go with, let's see. No, that's not what we want to go with. Right here, we're just about going to do the political stuff, people. So I want to get a chance to peel this off because I want to see what that border's going to look like on that. That's going to look real nice. Whatever political stuff going on over there. There we are. I don't like to show any of that. I like to keep the channel as neutral as possible. That's what I explain to people. When I see all those little political things come up, I try to keep this area neutral. So we have a dirty window seal, which I would not advise you painting over, but it's a dirty window seal. And then we have a table. That's my table I use to put my projector on, which now I just turned into a screen. Now what we'll do is we'll come out of here. I'm going to pause this for a minute. Well, I need to pause it here first. Come over here. Let's turn that off. Here is my cardboard screen, as you can see. It's my cardboard screen. I'm going to put that right there against our window. There. This is my screen made out of cardboard and contact paper. And you'll watch that blend right on in. And that's soaking wet. And as it dries, like I said, it gets brighter. Let's go over and have a look at my frame here. This is the screen. I can't wait. I'm going to set you guys over here for a minute. I'm just going to pause that just for a minute right there. The chameleon. Make sure I got my edges because I want this one to come out very nice. I like this screen right. This is going to come out pretty nice because, like I said, it's got that. Make sure. Ooh, I was knocking over the paint for a minute. I'm going to peel this right off. I'm not worrying about it damaging the screen at all. That's going to be a little temperamental. I'm going to knock my floor up a little bit because the paint's still wet, but let me get my foot in there. I'm not worried about it because paint dries. You can wash off the floor pretty easy, which I'm not worried about that. Okay, lay this over to the side. I'm gonna grab this part right here. Get my foot right in there. Get a little level in there. Look how that looks. It's got that shiny plexiglass reflection off of it. That's gonna look sweet. Okay. Happy with that. Let me over here real quick. We got some. Well, I might just dry it a little bit before I peel the straw cape off of it. So I'm gonna let this dry. Put the fan on one. Hopefully that doesn't blow anywhere. I had a piece of cardboard I was painting. Flew off the screen, it was wet, hit the side of the wall here, and I had to go over to Lowe's, get the paint code for that wall, and put it right back to normal. It was not a fun day. So once that's all dried and done,
A friendly vacation is leaving all the crazy in the spot. Well, maybe not all. Great.
YouTube, 4K fish. We'll take the Costa Rica. We'll take that. And so we get when it's done. I don't know what time it is. It's about 10:04. So it's 10:04. If you notice, like I said, my screen sits surrounded in windows. It's around 10:04 right now, and I'm still watching. This has been on since last night. So I leave my projector. My projectors run all night. So that's been running since last night. Around, I think I turned my system on around 12 afternoon yesterday. So it's been running from 12 after yesterday, and I go to sleep with my projectors on because I like to watch the fish. So if anyone knows exactly how long it takes to burn out a lamp, I would know because my projectors run literally all night. But that is a 126-inch screen sitting in a bed of windows. And I can sit right there. Somebody said, well, there's no window light hitting that. Yes, there is. I have window light on the side. And I have window light right here. Right there in the center of my screen. I can sit there, watch TV shows, sports, whatever I want to watch. I don't have to worry about the screen washing out or fading. I told you when they dry, they get brighter. That's why I like to do these interesting demonstrations on this scale, because you get to watch me paint the screen in. You're watching the screen react on two different screens in the environment, in fully lit environments without washing out or fading. I'm showing you how easy it is to paint that technology. If you wanted to build your screen out of cardboard, you could do that. It's up to you. That's the whole purpose of the whole technology. It gives you the ability to figure out how you want to build your screen. Go to Home Depot, go to Lowe's, think outside the box. Design something crazy. Like I got an arcade cabinet that I built out of cardboard that's protruding out from the wall on a screen that was painted on the wall. I love showing this in the background screen right here. That is beautiful. I love showing this off. I love my technology. You have to understand. I don't have any TVs in my house. I got one TV in here, and it's a security monitor. So think about it. You're talking to somebody who develops and designs his own technology and does not use TVs at all. The only thing I use is my product throughout the entire house. You got to have a lot of faith and confidence in your product when this is the only thing that you use. And here you are, you got glass, cardboard, a side of a table. And this projector in this room is 720p, so it means I don't have to go out and spend a lot of money for a projector due to the fact that the technology does all the work. So grab ourselves something else real quick. Well, my phone just died, so I think this demonstration's over right here. Well, the paint on demonstration's over because phone died. And that's the only thing I was getting my feed through. Yep, hear that shink? Just cut off on me.
So I understand in our household it's really crazy.
Let me come over here and grab. Oh, it just restarted, which is weird. All right, let me see. I had 50% on here. There's no way in the world. My phone's weird. Oops, that's the wrong controller. It's gotta be for that. There we go. That's why I did a lot of demonstrations in this room when I first started off. It was always dark in here because it was set up for like a kind of like a theater setting in here. But like I explained to people that, you know what I mean, I can use this in a fully lit environment if I want to. And I've had a few people comment saying, okay, well, how come in there you got all these lights on in that environment and the screen's well lit, but in here you have a different setting? And they've been trying to say, well, maybe it's because of the projector I'm using, the ViewSonic. This is 3,400 lumens. This is 4,300 lumens. It doesn't make a difference because keep in mind, these are same individuals that come in my room that make these comments. I've never seen the demonstrations that I've done on the 800, 900, and 1,000 lumen projector outside. But yeah, this technology, if I want to use it with the lights on, I can have the lights on with no problem whatsoever. So let me see why my phone shut down on me at 36% in the battery, which is kind of weird. All right, so let's go back in here and see what we can pull up because that shouldn't have happened. to finish the rest of this paint on. That right there came out nice. This got me thinking now. I'm going to get some plexiglass. I'm just going to roll the back of it. Maybe I'm going to do a red, kind of a red, kind of a shiny, kind of glossy. Because how you get the glossy look to it, all you do is take a piece of plexiglass and you just paint the back of it whatever color you want. And then when you flip it over, you just basically take the frog tape and just do the sides around it. And then you just paint that in with our technology. And that's how you get that glossy, shiny look to it. I can make that red, blue, green, and orange now knowing it came off on black. Alright, so let's see what's going on here. Wi-Fi is giving us some problems here, so let's come here and fix this real quick. Disconnect it. Okay, back on. So this phone has some weird issues because all this runs off Wi-Fi. Like everything in here runs off Wi-Fi. This phone just has a bit of a temperament. It's an older phone. So let's see if we can go in here and grab something, or we can get this up and going. Let's go with all right, I'll let this commercial play through, and then we'll get this back up and going because the phone for some reason shut down, but I shouldn't have had that problem at all whatsoever. But like I said, very easy to paint. And people are asking me exactly what to paint it on. Pretty much anything you could possibly think of. You know, like I said, that's glass behind it. That's a glass window. So there we are. Fired up and ready to go. This time I got some nice bright colors on there for you. Let's remove our cardboard screen. Wet. That is on our window. That's our glass window. The window is actually covered in all that dirty paint. Let's see. Alright, so I'm going to show you this real quick. Come over here. So this is the trim. I'm just making for my screen. It's still a little wet, but it's still drying. My little, if I can get the rip of there, just want to tear. Right there. And there you go. This is fantastic when you want to build a customized screen just using some cardboard and contact paper. So you can see it's still wet. Some cardboard and contact paper to make an interesting frame using our technology. Told you, as it starts to dry, it gets brighter and brighter. And it's still a little wet. I say right now I can go out and buy myself a cheap, get myself a nice cheap, maybe $70 motorized projection screen. Coat it with this technology and turn it into a high performance screen. So that right there was that dirty windowsill that had all that chip white paint all over it. And this is a 4,000 lumen Chrissy projector. See the white wall? That's what I tell people. You get one, if you get gray screen or any other screen paint or projection screen, you're not gonna get the best from your projector. It's not gonna get it. I guarantee you. Contrast allows that screen to be able to pop, pulls out the color, pulls out the detail. Your projector is pretty much useless. There's no point in you having a 10,001 or 15,001. You're never going to see it. I'm going to take my painted sheet of plexiglass. I'm going to stick it right over there. Beautiful board. And it's still a little wet. Open my screen. It's still a little wet. Oh, is that dry already? Yes, dry. Okay, cool. Face is already dry. So that's the plexiglass drying right now. And I'll stand back over here and bring my camera back so that way you can see the screen there. Already dried and done. You can see the ones actually drying right in front of you. Shoot, when I get my other house, I might do a demonstration. I'll paint all my screens in one day. I'm gonna do I'm gonna do a 300-inch screen. I'm gonna do a 235.1 and 178 inches. Yeah, because everything I have here, I'm upgrading by a lot. So the 235.1, I'm gonna upgrade that one to 178 inch, or maybe a 200 inch and a 235.1. The screens I have over here are going to be upgraded to probably around, I want at least one 300-inch screen in the house. I'm going to paint my outdoor screens. I'm doing all that in one hit. I'm painting every last one of those screens. Turn my projectors on, and you can watch all those screens dry. It's going to probably take me about 3 gallons. I'd say 3 or 4 gallons to knock it all out. Yep, and go through the house with a roller. Now I got people right now that are buying these screens for real estate. You know what they're buying it for real estate for is the reason what they're doing is to sweeten the pot, to make it more interesting for people to come in and buy. Some of these places are stalling in pre-installed home theaters. And it's faster and a lot more affordable for them to buy a cheap white screen and just code over with our technology, set it up there, and it's done. And they don't have to have an expensive 4K, or they don't have an expensive 1080p projector. I'm using this with a 720p projector right there. Very affordable, very easy to do, and on top of that, it boosts the property value because people come in and they see a theater. I actually literally was going to think about buying one of these houses that I saw because there was a full-fledged theater in there. I'm thinking, hey, gee whiz. All I got to do is just paint over that ugly white screen and I'm done. It was already set up in there. And there you can watch the plexiglass. Now it's getting brighter. So now it's drying. Get to its dry point. Bring it up a little higher for you guys, right there. While that's drying, I can come in here and clean up my little mess in here. might roll over this other screen. It's 150-inch screen. I might paint over that one. I might paint over the whole screen. There you go. Painted, dried right in front of you. And you saw what the surface looked like on that window. That window looked like crap. I mean, it's a cracked paint. I think they used that screen, the window, for a paint pan for painting one of the walls upstairs. So basically just threw some paint on it. I could never understand that. Lane, I could never understand why people say turn off the lights. So let me get this straight. You think it's physically harder for a screen to produce an image in the dark than it is with the lights on? I just got to pick your brain here for a minute before I do this. Why do you feel that a lights being out in an environment is harder for a screen to perform? Do you understand the physics of light on how basically lumens travel from one end to the next with a projector? Depending on the distance and how much square light you have in the environment whatsoever. Do you understand anything about that? It's not hard to get a screen to produce an image in the dark. It's actually easier because you have less lumens and conflicting with the lumens on the projector. If that was the case, and screens could thrive just as good actually in the dark or with the lights on, white screens wouldn't have this problem. So you do know that when your projector takes off, I'm just going to give you a little understanding here. You do know that when your projector takes off, right, depending on how far your projector is, how many lumens you have on your projector, and depending on how much light you have in the environment, you got to consider the fact that you're not going to have 4,000 or 2,000 or 1,500 lumens by the time it makes contact with the screen. You know that, right? You know your lumen count actually drops. It's like basically of a sniper. If a sniper fires a bullet, he has to count the wind, he has to count everything that may play a role, even gravity may play a role in making that bullet drop and missing the target. They don't actually aim for the head, they actually aim over the head because they know the bullet's going to slightly start to drop to make contact with the target. So that's the same thing when you're dealing with a projector. When a projector produces that lumens, when it comes out, you're not at 4,000 lumens. You're probably way less than that by the time you make contact with the screen. So it's harder for a projector to be able to throw out 4,000 or maybe 2,000 lumens, depending on how far back. My living room from here to here is around 10 feet. So around 10 feet, the lumen count is constantly dropping from the projector. The screen, on the other hand, it's going to have to generate enough gain in order to be able to take whatever lumens that make it to that destination to generate, to multiply that and bring that image back to you so you can see it back, see the image brighter and sharper. Keep in mind, not only when you have to see the image, but you're going to have to see the contrast levels, you're going to have to see the color, all that is going to have to play a part. That's why when you look at certain screens like white screens and light gray screens, that's why the image is faded and washed out. Because the screen can't generate enough gain in order to multiply whatever lumens that made it across that destination to make contact with the screen. Now with the lights out, that's easy because there's nothing to really interfere with the projector at all. But then again, just to humor you, lights off, lights on, lights off, lights on, lights off. You understand how it works? You see that? See how the technology doesn't change? How it looks the same when I throw my lights on or off? See that? You kind of got that now. So that's what I'm trying to, I can't understand. Not to be rude or disrespectful to this person, but I never could understand when people say, turn the lights off. That is not hard. That's easy to do. It is easier to show a video or a movie outside in the dark at nighttime than it is to do it at 6 o'clock in the evening. Because there's more light for that projector to fight with in order to make contact with the screen. It's kind of like the equivalence of carrying an elephant up the hill, then you can carry it down the hill. Consider at nighttime, you're carrying an elephant down the hill, probably on a skateboard, still ain't all that safe. At least you're getting down the hill a lot faster than carrying it uphill. You know what I mean? It's that same thing. So it doesn't, I don't know where people got that theory from where, oh, if you have your lights out, you know what I mean? It's going to, no. It's easier to do. It's easier to do. Or maybe you're thinking that, okay, let me hear this out here. Maybe you're thinking that maybe if I have the lights out, the image is going to show better, or slightly by a little bit, but not by much. This technology is designed to thrive in a fully lit environment. You got to understand that people now, with the way TVs cost, and keep in mind, I haven't checked out a TV in a while, and I just happened to pop on Best Buy to see how much a TV costs, and good gracious, you got to be freaking kidding me. Are you kidding me? That's what they charge for a TV now? Wow. I saw an outdoor TV for $29,000. Outdoor TV for $29,000. Oh, God forbid if you got that thing in your backyard and somebody just happens to go through and find out exactly what that TV costs, decides to snatch it off the side of your house. Nah, that's craziness, man. That's craziness. So let me get this straight. You got a outside TV. What's to protect it from anything damaged from outside, like hail or anything else? I mean, is there Gorilla Glass? I got to look into this because I'm kind of curious. But $29,000, I saw some TVs that were $80, 84 inches and 85 inches, and they wanted something like 14 and 15. Freaking OLED TVs are insanely costly. Are you kidding me? Who in their right mind pays that much money for a TV? That's insane. And then this is what I usually get. When I used to go to Best Buy and I used to check out their stuff down there, I used to get the sales clerk would come up and I asked him, what's the biggest TV you got? At the time I was living in West Philadelphia, I had a 200 inch in my living room. And I was asking what's the biggest he has. And he was telling me, well, the biggest we got is the 84 inch. 84 inch was probably about $4 or $5 grand for this 84 inch. And that was just 1080p. That wasn't even 4K. So I was like, well, I was explaining to him like, well, it's not big enough. He said, what do you mean it's not big enough? What do you got, projection? I said, yeah, I got projection. He goes, well, why do you got projection for it? I mean, you turn the lights on, the screen fades, it washes out. This has poor picture quality. You have to spend all this money for an expensive projector just to get the image to look right. And then I showed him my demonstration on a 200-inch screen sitting in my living room in a fully lit environment. And instead of me buying the TV, he bought a projector. He went out to purchase the projector, and he contacted me that evening to go pick up the paint. You know how much this setup cost me right here? That screen right there is 138-inch 235.1. This is real widescreen in here. That cost me 500. I think it was about 420. About 420 with a little tax in there, about 400 something. And then with the projector was around probably about 560. So about $1,000 or more. That's basically about it. That's it. And my screen's 138 inches at 235.1. True widescreen. How much you think that would cost you if it was a TV? That's why I don't understand why people say that. Turn the lights out. That doesn't turn. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Nah. Having the lights out in a dark environment, calibrating your projector, all that nonsense came from the era of the white screens. That's where it came from. Yep. Believe it or not, but that's where it came from. Do your history, go back and check on the old. I like to study old technology, like really old technology. When projectors first started coming out with reel-to-reel and all that stuff, I like to study the old stuff, solid movies and stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff I like to research. But go back and check, because that's where that era started from, where you had to have, because it had to start from somewhere, and it started with white screens where you had to have calibrating your projector to get the color coded just right. I have never calibrated a projector a day in my life. Never. Just haven't done one. What's the point? People say me do unboxings. I can take a projector out, throw it right on the screen. Looks good. You're looking at right here. You see that right there in the middle? That's a dirty windowsill. A dirty windowsill that I used probably about last year as a paint pan. I was just throwing paint on it to use it to just mop things up on the wall. On a ViewSonic. You do know that's a ViewSonic projector right there, right? You do know that's a ViewSonic, right? You said it doesn't work on a ViewSonic. That is a ViewSonic projector. That's why I said you got to think before you come on this channel and talk. You really do. Oh, what's your ViewSonic projector? And what ViewSonic projector do you have? Because I have a ViewSonic projector right here. And we're live. That's my ViewSonic projector right there. And it's working with no problem whatsoever. So what ViewSonic projector do you have? Now keep in mind what people don't understand when they first come into the room. If you need to rewind this video, I actually painted those screens in. These screens were painted in just a few minutes ago. Painted and dried right on camera. And this is live. So I want to see, what model number projector do you have? Keep in mind, I have a ViewSonic projector upstairs that's 900 lumens, and that projector dates back from 1999. So I know if that thing will work on our screen paint, I know your newer projector will. Not responding back. The reason why they don't respond back is because the reason why is because they probably never bought the screen paint. We get trolls that'll come in here from time to time, the crow boys. They'll make claims that they have our product and don't have the product. I asked them crystal clear on just a few minutes ago, you heard them, what projector model do you have? Because I got a ViewSonic right there and you're watching the demonstration live. On top of that, I have two ViewSonics upstairs. I got a black one up there, which is a 600 by 800 res, which I've used quite a few times. And then I got a much older one that is from 1999. And that thing is so old, it doesn't even hook up to the VGA, the HDMI converters. It'll just run off PC only. I don't like that. I don't do the debates right there. There we go. So don't get mad at me because my product works. First thing I tell people when people sit there and says, oh, the product doesn't work. Well, let me see the projector. Let me see your settings in the projector. I had a fellow who had changed the settings in his projector. He pulled the contrast level all the way down low. Oh, wait a minute. Let me show you something real quick. I want to show you, even in my, if I can get the screen to move over a little bit, I want to show you the settings in my Chrissy. Like I said, we get crow boys to come here and say all kinds of nonsense. I had somebody come here and I was using the Chrissy on our screen over here. He was like, well, I want to see the settings in your projector. I guarantee the settings are all the way through the roof. This projector still sits in factory settings, which I displayed and showed him. And it just follows by a bunch of insults. When I asked him exactly what projector you have, he's not replying back on what projector he has. All right, so let me go over here real quick. I'm going to bring this up for a minute. I'll get to the screen fast enough. I might have to do it again. All right, so this is my Chrissy I'm using right now. This is the settings in my Chrissy right now. All zeros, all the way down. Brightness, everything, all the way down to 0. In factory settings. The only thing on that projector that's activated that I'm using is the keystone. That's it. But this projector sits in factory settings. I had them accuse me of, oh, by the way, King Black just got our new 12 technology, right? He's going to be doing a demonstration very soon on his 4K PX747. Yeah, he does. And he's going to put that out there that he's going to make it crystal clear that the technology works. And it's funny because I had somebody come in here and say, well, they were saying, well, maybe it's your camera settings. It has to be your camera settings. The problem is that, I hate to say it, it's a bit of a jealousy thing. And that's what it is. I'm sorry, but that's what it is. You can give me all the dislikes you want. It is what it is. It's a jealousy thing. I worked hard. My product works because I worked hard. I put the time in. That's why it works. That's why you watch that screen. I just painted. Look at them lighting up. Look how bright the image is. That's a jet black surface producing that beautiful image just like that. Painted that on a piece of plexiglass, painted that in on a tabletop, painted that on a sheet of glass. But it's a jealousy thing, and I'll tell you why it's a jealousy thing. Because they can't figure out how in the world he's doing it. How is he making a black screen produce an image like that? It's called hard work and research. That's what it's called. Mainly, it's called faith. Having faith, hard work, and research. That's what it's called. This is what happens when you hit the grindstone every day and you work hard for 10 years. You have the ability to do this. Anybody can do it. You just have to work hard for it. That's all. But they can't accept that. So they've tried all kinds of theories. And one guy came and said, well, it's got to be the settings on your phone. That's the reason why the image is coming out so bright. I got people who work in photography that just laugh every time they hear that comment. That's the most idiotic thing I've ever heard in my entire life. And then he goes, well, there's a fellow by the name of King Black. You really want to go down that road? Seriously. Like, I'm giving you a chance to back out of this, but he just goes on with it. So I bring up King Black's video. Now, here's the interesting thing that the Crow Boy didn't understand what was going on. Not only is King Black displaying beautiful white levels in a very well-lit environment on our wallpaper technology using an 8, but I'm able to show you that demonstration crystal clear on a screen that's a 12 that's darker than the screen he's displaying, which you can see off the screen. So keep in mind, if my camera was doing all the work, that means anyone that would have our product would display a black screen, which King Black was not displaying. And eventually he got mad, threw me a couple of nasty insults, and left the room. Kind of reminds me of the magician on freaking Frosty the Snowman, where he basically fell off the back of the train. You see him doing all kinds of tantrums. He was basically going over the side of the hill. Come on now. Accept it for what it is. Just accept it for what it is. The screens are dry. Let me turn this fan off. So we got our dirty window sill right here, glass. That's a pane of glass right there for the window. Piece of plexiglass, and that's the table that I use basically to show off my demonstrations using my projectors right there. And we're using bright, beautiful colors. Tell you one thing, when I did that demonstration with that screen taking in that direct hit from sunlight, they couldn't deny that one. There's no way in the world you can get around denying that technology. And that's not even ready yet. That'll be ready in 2021. That's being engineered for something really special. Let me see. So right now, I have to go back on the website and put back on the black silver, because we did order, actually I made an order earlier this morning for more of that particular product. I told you I need that makes a black silver. Black silver shopping carts will be activating today.
Our home, it's where we feel our safest, where we come together with family and those we love.
Trying to figure out where I got. Oh, we got a new video coming. I'm gonna watch that tonight. I like these guys that do these homestead shows, man. Really interesting to watch. So it just goes to show, bottom line is, let's get rid of the block out the Crow Boy nonsense. It just goes to show that, like I said, you can paint the screen paint on anything you want. I get a lot, like I said, a lot of people asking me questions. This is a surface that I would never paint on, but like I said, it's trashy surfaces I just pulled up out of the basement, coated over top of it to show you that, you know, you can paint this stuff. Ooh, this is beautiful. You can paint this stuff on just about anything you want. You just want to make sure the surface is a little cleaner than what I just used in the demonstration, because my surfaces are pretty jacked up. Let's go to 4K media. Ouch. We get good weather today. I hope we get good weather today. I want to get outside today and do a demonstration. I'm so sick and tired of doing demonstrations inside the house. I really am. I want to get outside. I like doing demonstrations outside. How many people you hear say that in the video? Do projection screens. They want to do demonstrations outside. Actually, I want to get a chance to play around with that technology we use to hit that sunlight. I definitely want to play around with that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some plexiglass and recoat some bigger surfaces so I can go play out in the sun. Do. You can see the difference between the red in the wall and the red in the technology. Yeah, when people say turn the lights out, that's not a challenge whatsoever. The easiest way you can make a screen look good. That's why they take ambient light controlled environments, because they're controlling how much light makes contact with the screen. That's what it is. That's just, man. I mean, if you're talking about having ambient light rejection technology, there's no reason why you should be sitting in the dark. There is no reason why you should be using an ambient light controlled environment. If you call yourself having real ambient light rejection technology, you should not be using an ambient light controlled environment. Because that's pretty much what's telling your customers, hey, look, this is what's going to happen. You're going to have to become a DJ when it comes to your light. You're just going to have to mix and match where your lights are going to have to go, because any of them too close to the screen may disrupt your picture quality. That's a bunch of nonsense. I don't have ambient light controlled environments. I just turn my lights on and that's basically about it. There's no way anywhere I'm going to spend $5,000 for a screen. You're going to tell me that I have to have in a certain environment, I have to have a certain form of projector. I should be able to go on eBay and get any projector I want, which I have done, bought different forms of old projectors, and I should be able to hit my screen with it. I should not have a problem. I mean, you may have to calibrate your projector. Yeah, really, seriously. This is why people go buy TVs. Number one, they do not want to sit in the dark all day. This is why they buy TVs. And someone's going to tell you every time you turn on your projector, you got to calibrate it. You got to adjust where the lights have to be at in the environment. You got to go through all this nonsense. You might as well just go buy a TV and be done with it. Turn the TV on, be done with it. That's what you should do. But this is why our technology is designed this way. It takes all the guesswork. You have to figure out what you got to paint it on. None of that. Makes it easy. And that right there is my work table. Right there. So I thought it'd be fun just to coat my work table that I used. Let's set my projector on. This is my work table. And this is the condition of my work table. This is my work table right here. I use that for work. All right, gotta grab me a charger real quick. I think I just reconnected or whatever. There we go. Yeah, I'm at the end of my battery. And my cords. I'm gonna play makeup. Are you kidding me? Whatever. Sorry about that. I'm having a cord problem over here. My cord, for some reason, doesn't want to basically play right and disconnect. So I can plug in this so my battery doesn't die. Okay. All the stuff to get tangled up. So will not come loose. Come on, get in there. It's interesting when you're trying to find a cord to try to plug in to your phone to keep it from shutting off. It's like defusing a bomb and hitting the wrong wire. All the cords I have over there, for some reason, those particular cords just seem to be interlocked and did not want to separate. We don't have low battery now because I'm charged up. All right, let's show you the fun part. Probably going to catch a little heat from this, but might as well. All right, so since we're halfway here anyway, let's go over and let's pull up, let me see, blah, 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 blah. Let's pull up an aquarium. That'll run real quick. Look at this. Oh, political. Political. We don't do politicals. Political pass. So we're going to have a little fun here. We're going to take, mind you, that is a windowsill. Yeah, that's a piece of glass, right? From my windowsill right there, as you can see right there. And we'll take a high-end sample sheet right there. Now we have glass here, plexiglass here. We'll go with the glass here. Okay, and let's go with the plexiglass with, let's use, blah, 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 blah. Let's use, on this one, right there. We'll put that right here. Dope. Okie doke. And there you are, we're showing the color red. Probably gonna catch some flack over this. I know I am. It would have been a lot more gentle if it was an official screen, but that is actually a sheet of glass painted with that technology. So let's see which one pulls up on a piece of glass. And you don't get the concept here is the fact that that is an old sheet of glass right there that was marked up, and that is a piece of plexiglass right there. And right there we have a $13 to $1,400 projection screen sample at 100 inches, and that right there is a daylight screen Paxel. I think that's around $5,000 for a 100-inch. That is our technology. That would cost you from 100-inch to 120-inch, $160. And there's the movie Tron. Now, to be fair, I have a 4,000 lumen Christie projector. It's a top tier projector. So if you look at the big picture here, if you went out and you bought, not to slander any one of these companies, but it is what it is because you're seeing it right here on camera and you're seeing it live. So it's now smoke and mirrors. There's nothing pre-recorded. If you were to buy one of these screens, it costs you, for that one, the Elite screen would cost you $1,400. And if you bought this one on the other end, the Paxel, if I'm saying it incorrect, I do apologize. That would cost you about $5,000 for 100-inch. Where our technology is $160, and it would cost you somewhere between, well, I said $160 already. It would paint a screen size of 100-inch to 120-inch. So if this screen would cost you $5,000 for 100-inch, this would cost you around $13 to $14 for 100-inch. How much you think it would cost you if you wanted to upgrade to 120-inch? And consider the fact I just painted this screen on a sheet of glass. A sheet of glass that was not clean. It was actually, if you go back and rewind the video, you'll see that it was paint splattered all over it, and it had a paint can imprint into the glass. I used that as my paint pan to actually paint my walls upstairs and in the gaming room. Now with that, I'm just going to leave you a little food for thought. It's sad and unfortunately that because of COVID, we can't ship overseas anymore. But the technology was there, why it was there, and plenty of people could have taken advantage of it, why it was actually available. And then now it's no longer available overseas, which we wish it still was, but it's not. And like I said, in a year from now, or maybe a year from now, who knows? Things may change. So, I'm just saying. Just putting it out there. Life is interesting that way. But like I said, it's here now. All right. With that being said, thank you all for your time. I have to go, and God bless.